Hypergriff held a media presentation in Shanghai, China. This is the one that was in China. All right. Regarding beta test 2 for Arknights Endfield, coming to PC, PS5, iOS, and Android, which will begin on November 28th. Can't wait. This article summarizes the demo of the latest build at the held at the venue, as well as a public interview and Q&A session with producer Yumineko and level designer Rua. Oh, Yumineko is Lowlight. Got it. Thank you. Lowlight and Rua. About the connection to the previous work and the theme of this work, connection to Arknights, the original game. First, he was asked how Arknights and Arknights Endfield are related. Lowlight said the idea for Arknights already existed in 2017 when Arknights was being conceived. He explained in order to provide both games as operational games at the time, they are separated by a large timeline. The story has a backstory and many plot twists. Knowledge of the previous game is not required, but those who do will enjoy discovering the many connections. So, like I said, it's not a requirement to know the backstory of Arknights, the original game, but the players who are taking in the story will have a massive reward in terms of story. Reason for choosing factory as a theme. Lowlight was asked why he chose factory, a symbolic element of this game as a concept. Lowlight explained that he is a fan of factory games. After that, he began planning how to naturally incorporate factory elements into an anime-style science fiction. But he recalled that it was quite difficult and took nearly a year to complete. Just for the concept, it took nearly a year. There were almost no precedents for factory management games, and it was difficult to figure out how to make them coexist with factory simulation. After much trial and error, the first teaser video was released to the public in 2022. Oh man, I can't wait. Event? Okay, so they already got events in here too. Rui expanded on the strengths of factory games themselves, citing their large player base and the ability to create something unique and personal through experience like base construction and line design. He also cited the sandbox-like freedom that allows players to easily share the game on social media. The social aspects are absolutely going to take precedent here. Yeah, this is the most important part of the game in the future. It's going to be the social elements. Like Lowlight, he added that focusing on factories is rare for a long-term title and that he feels it represents a new concept. Now the interview before makes a little bit more sense of making something that's uniquely yours. Yeah, this makes a little bit more sense now. Hopefully you guys can still see that. Immersion created by 4 operators fighting simultaneously on the screen. This title's appeal extends beyond the factory elements as well as combat content. We'll explain that the format of up to 4 operators fighting in real time on the same screen is quite rare for a long-term title, especially for a mobile game. Fighting with multiple characters simultaneously allows players to naturally experience a sense of teamwork and cooperation, providing a sense of realism and immersion as they overcome challenges together. I'm gonna be glazing this game so hard, bro. Furthermore, they're aiming for a high level of strategy. The concept has not been deviated from. They are aiming, meaning in the future, they are aiming for a high level of strategy, similar to a card game. There are a huge number of options. Stacking abnormal effects, such as art abnormalities and physical abnormalities, will be particularly important. They continued saying they want players to enjoy creating their own formations, using their individuality and freedom or free imagination, regardless of rarity of their operators. So remember, the 5 operators that they introduced, the low rarity ones, they're supposed to fit into various different types of parties, fulfilling different goals. It looks like everyone will be viable. It's just depending on what you're trying to do with your team, how viable, right? New additions and changes. The live broadcast on October 31st revealed a significant amount of new content and improvements for Beta Test 2. There are a variety of changes, both large and small, including improvements to the story and tutorial. The addition of a new map, Wuling, and 9 new operators. Even though it's been less than a year since the last beta test, there's a lot to cover. Okay, and they took pictures for us too. It's the camera system that we just saw, and it looks like this is all captured on that camera system. The blur in the background looks great too. It's a large volume of 50 to 60 hours, but Pace is good, and it's clear what you should do. When asked the amount of content this time, Lowlight explained that it's about 50 to 60 hours. The experience flow has been significantly revised, including the scope of the previous test, and improvements have been made to make it more immersive. The story direction has been completely revised, and many cutscenes have also been added. They knew. Rua added that the game has also been redesigned to allow for a natural transition between story and combat without any interruptions. It's sandbox style rather than open world, with a natural linear design. You hear that, guys? It's not an open world game. It's not an open world game. Okay? It's not an open world game. Being able to go anywhere isn't necessarily a good experience for all players. Some players will drop out because they don't know what to do. By creating a potential guide, players can naturally progress forward. Even the tutorial isn't about clearing out obstacles, but rather defeating the landbreaker that stands in their way. However, there are also elements like treasure chests on the other side of a fence, forcing players to think for themselves on how to get there. The map's density has been increased to create an interesting experience that goes beyond a simple linear path. And here we go, seeing that multiplayer looking thing from Death Stranding. So what does it call it? Like semi-open world? Go and look at any of the old footage. It is open enough to still find new things in that world, but it is not an open world game. When you say open world game, I'm thinking a massive world where there are no bounds stopping you from getting from point A to point B. There are bounds between areas in this. If you go from Valley 6 to the new map, there's going to be a loading screen. They're separated. They're not in one massive world. An evolution from 2D ADV. What is ADV? The previous game had a story in 2D illustrated ADV format. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up. That's new to me. But this game has many scenes that use 3D. Lowlight explained that once a 3D scene is created, it is difficult to correct it. Even a small correction would mean having to recreate most of it, which was difficult. Yeah, this is most likely where they struggled the most, because they're going from that format of just having a PNG on the screen, some sound effects, some effects, and then moving with another PNG on the screen. Like, it's very simple to put images on a screen and have them shake and stuff, compared to creating entire environments and having the models move the way that they should. Like, that's a lot of work. So this is probably where they struggled the most, and why it took them so long to get this off the ground. In addition, in order to achieve the atmosphere of Arknights that combines realism with an anime style feel, the company conducted repeated tests internally and created a new framework. People are sending me images, man. Oh, I haven't seen these. All right. So it's hard to see some of these, but this is a new enemy that we've never seen before. We've already seen this one. This is a beautiful big, but this one I want as a wallpaper. I want this one as a wallpaper, bro. And then there's this. This looks like the profile screen. So you'll be able to unlock different images. That's from Full Pots. Oh, that's fire. Lowlight explained, regarding the newly added area Wuling, a water city that blends tradition and modernity. I've never heard that word before. Lowlight explained that it is a map with an Oriental worldview, while noting that the Oriental world tends to bring to mind images of something traditional or old-fashioned. He said that this time the concept is a futuristic Oriental world. Look, Lowlight, I know you're not watching my stream, but I know someone over there will relay this to you somehow, some way. I want to be able to collect beans, bro. In my little friend hub thing, I want to be able to have little beans. You know what I'm saying? Like, that I can collect and put up little toy statues of characters, maybe from the original game. You know what I'm saying? Bean conquest. Yes. Yes. Just like Alpha said, you see it. Chat's right there. Alpha said it himself. The chat's agreeing with me. We want to be able to collect beans, bro. We don't just want to see them on top of the building. That's fire. Don't get me wrong. That's fire. But we want to be able to collect some beans. You know how you have the beans in the live streams that are just roaming around? Have an event where if you're paying attention to specific things, you can collect a bean that you can keep and collect in your base. If you see that in the game chat, you guys better come back and give me my credit. Here's your Tallulah lookalike. Where is my video of the
Endfield.
Nah, that's not the same character. We're still talking about the new area. While it is a fortress city built on a rift, it also has an academic aspect. Many members of the development team are graduates of China's Academy of Art, and the map apparently incorporates a lot of Chinese culture. Water is a key point for both movement and industry. Rua explained Wuling from the perspective of game design. First, as an overall premise, he said that the emphasis is on linking gameplay and content. Wuling is an area rich in water and nature, and you can use water to solve areas where you can't proceed due to differences in elevation, or to create and use water-based energy called breath. That could be a correct translation or a wrong one. We don't know. Water plays an important role in both the industrial system and exploration. Yeah, okay, I'm starting to understand the blueprint thing now, because the blueprints aren't going to be able to get you through all of this. Like, you're still going to have to interact with this system. Like, the information is making more sense now. Water is pumped up, then released into another location to rise the water level and create a road. Breath can be used for energy and purification. In addition to the addition of Wuling, a regional currency that can strengthen the facilities and in that region, and a transportation system between regions has also been added. When we're asked if it would be difficult even for beginners, to easily create the automated production line in the industrial system, Rua replied that the development team is still working on trial and error. So they're still working on it, admittedly. Therefore, a new blueprint system has been introduced this time, allowing you to quickly set up production lines. Even large-scale, complex projects can be easily tried out with just the blueprint. And then they show images of it. We've seen what it looks like. Additionally, it is possible to create, copy and paste lines that have already been placed and share them on social media. Other features implemented include message beacons and a photo taking function and a medal system. Medals can be displayed in your own room, and you can also visit your friends' reception rooms. Story behind the birth of Prilika and Chen. There was also a question about how the game's characters, including Prilika, the inspector who supports the protagonist, were created. Prilika came from a dream he had one day of a girl riding on a motorcycle across the desert. He shared the image from his dream with his team, and the character Prilika was born. I'm glad they added personality to her voice again, because she was sounding so robotic before. I'm so glad they changed that. However, it wasn't Prilika who was first created for this game, but her partner Chen Senyu, as a descendant of the Chen family from the previous game. And there was also a desire to somehow make her smile, as she was often sullen. Look at the quality of this image, bro. They making these characters look so good. Because the setting was created at an early stage, many things have changed since the beginning, but it seems that the original idea has not changed. So the clothing and stuff has changed, but yeah, she does look like a happy dragon, like they said. 3D character expression. Regarding the changes in terms of visuals, Lowlight said that in this work, they attempted to the inherent contradiction of recreating 2D in a 3D anime style 2D, recreating 2D in a realistic anime style 3D. Yeah, this is just translation problem. It makes sense, but that could have been worded better. As a result, they arrived at a combination of PBR, physically based rendering. I thought it was physics-based rendering, and NPR, non-photorealistic rendering, that gives a 3D look a bit like hand-drawn art. The impression changes depending on how the light hits it and the materials used. I hope they made this boss fit in this type of game now, because he was originally created with a slower game style in mind, but it didn't translate well in the last beta. He was really easy in comparison to the first one. So I hope they did something to make it a little bit more and add a little bit of difficulty to that boss and trying to figure out how they play. But even if they didn't, right? Even if they didn't, let's play devil's advocate here. Even if they didn't, there's a lot of room for them to grow in terms of boss design as the game continues to be developed. I think we're really going to see the shine of everything. This is the beta, the release of the game is going to be great, but the version 1.1 and 1.2 and 1.3 are going to be the ones that actually show us like the changes that they've made to the game, or the improvements that they made to the game, because there's going to be new bosses, possibly new mechanics in terms of base building. There's so much that they can do here. So much that they can do here to make this game stand out for a long time. To enhance the sense of immersion, Lowlight adopted the methods of high-quality AAA titles. The art and technical teams worked together to ensure all elements flowed smoothly, even paying close attention to the way characters sat and by their standby movements. Technical challenges. This is Hypergriff's first large-scale 3D game and is scheduled for a simultaneous worldwide release. I'm so happy they're doing this. This is such a smart freaking thing to do. You want everyone to be in sync so that when your story starts to get really, really good, one region isn't getting that good story and the other region is getting spoiled as they wait for that version of the game to come to their region. So this is so smart. This is so great. Rua reflected on the technical challenges, displaying 4 operators and numerous enemies on the same screen as a particular challenge, using highly detailed models. Oh my god, 80k, 100k, 40 to 50k on mobile. CPU and GPU optimization was essential, and the project presented a series of challenges, including rebuilding Unity's underlying technology. Remember, they have a highly edited version of Unity. So you're saying my phone will melt? If it's an old phone, possibly. Furthermore, the simultaneous worldwide release involved pre-recording voice actors for each language at the storyboard stage and localizing the characters to convey their individuality in accordance with the language and culture, which was a huge amount of work and led to significant growth for the development team. These challenges are what the team is focusing on, so they can continue to provide service for the world of Arknights Endfield for many years to come. Okay, so I've already read some of this. Some of this is translated bad, so I'm just letting you know that now. Can people who haven't played Arknights enjoy this game? Absolutely not. It's absolutely. I don't know where the not came from. We want everyone, both new and existing players, to enjoy the game, and we want to build a community together with everyone. We've provided ample guides so that even those who haven't played Arknights can easily immerse themselves in the world. Of course, there are some things that existing players will be familiar with, but they're generally quite minimal. While experience with factory games may make a difference, we provided extensive guides so that everyone can enjoy the game from start from the same starting line. Rua. Even people who aren't familiar with the previous game can enjoy this one. Those who want to learn more about the game's deeper worldview and Easter eggs may be inspired to play the previous game after playing this one. See? The benefit of already playing it is going to be there. Social elements have been added, but will multiplayer be implemented? Lowlight. We have the philosophy. We have the philosophy of meeting the diverse needs of our players, but we fundamentally prioritize single player mode. We included some social elements in Arknights, but with this game, we're prioritizing social interaction through the gameplay experience. Social elements have nothing to do with revenue. You guys hear that? You guys hear that? Say it all the way for the people in the back. Social elements have nothing to do with revenue, but we hope people will enjoy it. Also, even if we implement multiplayer, we don't intend for it to be mandatory. Rua. We've been primarily developing single-player titles for a long time. Social elements are kept light, so even players who aren't comfortable with PvP can enjoy the game. We're considering adding the ability to cooperate and build with friends in the future, but there are no short-term plans for their implementation. I see what this is for. You remember when I was saying I hope there's going to be like a go raid and destroy other people's bases like Clash of Clans? This is a direct response to that, I think. That's why he implemented the PvP aspect there. I think this is a direct response to that aspect, because that was kind of like a growing thing after. I'm not going to say that I made it a thing, but it was a growing topic. Yeah, we're considering adding the ability to cooperate and build with friends in the future, but there are no short-term plans for their implementation. We were primarily aiming for asynchronous light interaction. So you'll be able to, hey, there's some a note here that players that have already done this have already planted here for the new players. This boss might be hard, or you might need to level up more. There's a secret to the left. Some the Death Stranding and Dark Souls type things, right? Please tell us the core concept of the battle system. In the previous test, we're focused on balancing and strategy and action. This is an RPG, and combat is at the core of the game. Rather than a simple turn-based system or a quick, exhilarating action game, we're designing strategic, real-time battles. He's still harping on the strategic part. So I'm guessing what they mean is this is the baseline. What we're about to experience is the baseline of everything that you're going to be able to participate in the future. So it's probably going to get harder, or there's not just harder, but actually have some mechanics that you have to pay attention to. Increasing the action element creates an exhilarating feeling, but reduces the strategic element. Conversely, prioritizing strategy allows or slows down the tempo. So we're constantly making adjustments to strike that balance. As a long-term title, what kind of update plans do you have in mind? This is actually a really good question. Low light. In a PvE title, players consume content faster than development. So I think it's ideal to update content periodically. Playtime varies from player to player, and I hope players can enjoy each version in their own style. Of course, we're continuously accepting feedback and creating stable future plans. Arknights is also a long-term title, so we're taking that experience into account when formulating unique update plans. We want to deliver regular surprises. Ooh, that is something that I didn't. It's a Chinese or a Japanese translation, so I'm trying not to take words like this, like he's trying to plant something in people's head, but that's still a really good thing that's said here. Rua, some content development is nearing completion, and we're currently polishing it. We're preparing large-scale content like battles and maps. We hope to provide content at a pace that matches everyone's needs. The industrial system introduced a blueprint system, but does automation force players to use the best solution? Okay, that is another really good question. Low light. A good factory game has an ultimate goal, and players have the flexibility to find their own answer towards that goal. The game is designed so that players can reach the goal if they put in the time, so it's not like you can't complete the game unless you find the best solution. In future versions, we'll continue to refine the industrial system and add new elements. People were worried about them leaving this behind. They're already thinking about how to improve it. Rua, there's nothing to worry about. You can create your own unique automated production line, and we're not mandated to do things a certain way. What philosophy does the development team hold dear? Low light. At Hypergriff, our goal is to create great games, and we work hard every day to create them. Developing a major 3D title is an unavoidable path. We've received some harsh criticism up until now, but we've taken it as useful. We're a team with no experience in major 3D titles. We've finally made it to the brink of release. I believe we can deliver a better experience to the fans and players who have encouraged us. And I feel like we can take on more difficult games. Even though they are called anime-style games, the game designs vary. Some are based on the concept of casually killing time. Okay, here we go. Of casually killing time, while others are designed to let you experience something or to communicate ideas, and the concepts and targets are all different. Hypergriff has a large number of gamers, and while there are a ton of anime-style games out there, we wanted to make a game like that, and there were voices from players saying they wanted something like that. So the developers and players' wishes matched and production progress. There are players out there who actually want a game to play. We're making a game that you can actually play. We're not trying to build something where you have to manage your time. We're building something with actual systems and things that you must learn in order to progress. We want to cater to those players. That is what I'm reading from this. So the developers and players' wishes matched and production progressed. It's just badly translated. It's a direct translation, so I'm kind of going based off of what it's saying verbatim, but this is how I'm perceiving what is said. That is me assuming that this is what he means by this. It isn't what he's actually saying. I don't know what he actually meant because this isn't a proper translation. Are there any plans to implement skins or costumes? Costumes are an important element of anime-style titles, but we don't have any plans to introduce them at this time. First of all, we want to create new maps and elements, and we may introduce costumes if they are suitable. Ooh, please tell us about the radio metal scar, which was announced during the live show on October 31st. It's a music radio station related to Hypergroup's virtual music brand, MSR. Since it's a radio station, it will deliver both advertisements and music. I'd like to increase the amount of music from this brand and develop various projects, such as music programs. I actually like the sound of this because a lot of us like the various different types of music that comes from in-house. So this is their chance to make this pop a lot more. This is crazy. Crazy. Please say a few words about Beta Test 2. I'm really nervous. I hope you enjoy playing. This is Lowlight's baby. I think the revisions have made it a lot better. Please give us your feedback. And that is it. That is the Japanese interview. Today was a really exciting day. We got a lot of new information about Arknights Endfield that I definitely didn't expect. We got knowledge of how long the campaign is going to take place. Well, it said gameplay, so it may be including just all the side quests and everything. It might be 50, 60 hours of gameplay. We got information about their focus on the game, that they're still focused on strategic elements. And now we know that the game's been in pretty much on and off development since 2017. The concept of the game was in 2017. But not only did we get a lot of information, they just dropped a trailer too. They just dropped a random trailer tonight. So we're going to check that out.
In recent years, the one in the sarcophagus has gradually faded from people's memory, along with those legends. I was hoping that before your memory recovers, you would learn about this world through experience rather than my faint words.
It looks like old stuff. Okay, that's happening. Some new stuff in here too. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was gonna go hard with that beat. They're showing off small bits of all the new stuff. Everything looks so much cleaner. I can't believe they just added that. That's crazy. New enemies too. Yo, man, this is sick. There she is. That's it. Or not. Every time they show something on this game, it just looks better, man. It just keeps looking better and better.
Endmen. See if they've grown and transformed
Is that the Sui
into
sisters
what you envision.
voice?
Sorry, Tata. I didn't mean to upset you.
It looks like this was meant for Chinese, but they had the English voices on it. It's just so pleasant to see how much work is going into this game. I'm absolutely happy that the more we see this, the more and more it looks like a AAA game instead of just being another gacha game, man. This is just really, really sick. Today was a really, really good day for Arknights fans, regardless if you're just going to be playing Arknights Endfield or if you are really excited for the overall story within the universe. Today was a really good day for all of us. And I think the fact that a whole bunch of articles and content creators got to play the game early, we now see more of the game, got some questions answered, and now we're just waiting for that beta test on the 28th, man. And I'm just very happy. I'm really, really happy.